About 20 years ago, I was asked to take a class of MBA students, and I was scared. Welcome to Subramani, and thank you for taking the subscriber base. It's now close to 15,000. So let me tell you what happens is whenever you do anything for the first time, you will be scared. So I think every year you should do something for the first time and enjoy that, right? If you're very young, then you are very enthusiastic about learning a bike. But however, if you're 30 years of age, you may not have the guts to learn how to ride a bicycle, right? But you will have to ride a bicycle at some stage if you want to. Of course, it's a choice that you have to make whether you want to ride a bicycle. But even riding a bicycle is scary. You're not so scared when you're young, but as you grow older, then you get more scary and you're worried that you'll fall, you'll break your leg and things like that. So similarly, public speaking is supposed to be one of the biggest fears which people have, and starting with an MBA class is perhaps not the greatest idea. Here is a bunch of students who are very keen to know what you are going to teach and far more keen to know whether you're going to mark attendance, and they're not exactly going to listen to what you're doing. But you are preparing for the lecture for the first time, you're still not skeptical, you're still very young, and you are hoping that you will make a good career in training, teaching, whatever, and public speaking. So it is scary. So you say, can you do the lecture on Wednesday? Can I do it on Friday? So you got yourself a little more time and you keep postponing, but then Friday morning comes and you go and you do the lecture, and then you do another, and then over 20 years you do thousands of lectures, address thousands of people, including students and their teachers, and you go to the best of institutes, you go to IIT, you go to IIM, you go to all those kind of places, sacred places, and you do that kind of stuff. Similarly, there will be a time when you're scared of swimming, there will be a time when you're scared of running, or maybe of cycling, or cycling in the mountains, or cycling the bridges, right? So similarly, you will be scared of investing. There is nothing wrong to admit that you are afraid of investing, because what happens is you think when you invest you should always make money, and that if you get the timing wrong you will get completely wiped out, and so you have to get everything right. So what do you have to do? First you have to predict what happens in the market, right? So if I am sure that the market is going to go up, I will invest, and if I'm sure it is going to go down, I will sell. So it's so simple, right? No, it's not so simple. Let us assume you invested in the worst time of 2007, which means just before the 2008 crash you had invested. Market was at its peak, maybe it's at 21, it was at 21,000, and you saw your money was decimated by a 50% fall in the market over the next 1 year, 1.5 years. So you saw the market coming down from 21,000 to 9,000. So what did you do? You sold, right? Which means you went exactly against what everybody says is buy low and sell high. You were supposed to buy at 9,000 and sell at 20,000, but you did exactly the reverse. You bought at 21,000 and sold at 9,000. This is what is called making two mistakes. One, you made a mistake of buying at a peak, and second, you sold at the bottom. Fair enough, you didn't know that that was the peak, but the worst thing that you did was sell at 9,000. Or maybe at 10,000, and maybe you sold at 11,000, and then you felt very happy that it has gone down to 9,000, and you told everybody, see, I told you this market is not a good place, at least mera thoda paisa bach gaya, now it is gone to 9,000, right? So you then swore off the market, you didn't come, and then you watched the market go down to 9, then climb back to 21, and then cross 21, and then you said, oh, I wish I had not sold, right? So don't get into this. Don't get into predicting the markets. You do not need to predict the markets at all. All you need to do is to make sure that you keep investing. So start today. Don't get worried that market is at an all-time high. Yes, market is at an all-time high. The US markets are at an all-time high, but the Japanese market is not at an all-time high. The Chinese market may not be at an all-time high. The Korean market may not be. So the world markets are perhaps at an all-time high, but individually you will still be able to find markets which are nowhere near their all-time high, right? So do you have to invest only in companies which are not at the all-time high? I don't see why you should be worried at all about the word called all-time high. If you have money to invest, and like I said, if you are chosen the worst month of say 2007 and you invested, even then you would have recovered your money by 2011 if it was the index, or if you had invested in a very good portfolio, or even some individual shares, the HDFC Banks, Asian Paints kind of examples which people give. If you had invested there, even in a Larsen & Toubro or Tata Power or any of those shares, you would have recovered a part of your cost, if not the whole thing. However, if you just take the index and if you had put a lump sum, you would have definitely lost 50%, 21 to 9. However, if you were doing a SIP, you would have invested at 21, you would have invested at 20, 19, 18, at every price you would have invested. And then when the market came back from 9,000 to 21,000, you would have been a very big beneficiary of the power of averaging, right? Maybe over 2-3 years, you would have put in a lot of, your portfolio would be worth quite a bit, even if you had just put in something like 10,000 a month. And suddenly you'd be seeing yourself worth about 8 lakhs or 9 lakhs, and you realize that you had put only 3 lakhs, right? That is what could have happened to your portfolio. That is investing on the worst day of that decade, perhaps, right? So don't worry too much about what the market is going to do next, because none of us know what the market is going to do next. All of us who come on television or through YouTube videos, we can all tell you broadly this is what will happen, but this is generic advice. Like I said, if you had invested in 2007, by 2011 you would have got back your money. Now that's very clear that when people tell you do not invest in equities if you require the money in the next 4 or 5 years, it makes sense. I would stick my neck out and say, if you were to do a 6-7 year SIP in a fund which was some 70% in equity and 30% in debt, I do think over 6-7 years you cannot lose money. I mean, you may still underperform the or get returns less than inflation, so you got a slightly negative return, but don't worry too much about those nuances. It doesn't really matter. If you have not started, just go and make a start, right? You sat on the roller coaster once, maybe you did bungee jumping, maybe you've even flown solo, right? Maybe you've done all those things. Maybe you ride a mountain bike, maybe, right? Maybe you're a boxer, maybe you are a sportsman. So there is always a chance that in sports that you will lose some match. It doesn't mean you will lose every match. It doesn't mean every day you will make money in the equity markets. No, it doesn't work that way. One day you will make, one day you will lose. But realize that over a period of time from 1979 to 2020, market has only gone up, but market may have gone up, come down, gone up, come down. There would be some variance. Don't think you can sell at every top and buy at every bottom. That is not going to happen. Keep a small amount of money, maybe 1 or 2 lakhs, in which you test those theories. But be very clear that you will not risk more than the next amount into such testing the theories. Simple, start investing as early as possible. Put lump sum, put SIP, doesn't matter. Do an SIP, and suddenly if you have extra money, dump it into that fund, right? Just keep on investing and be very clear that you will take a 10-year plus attitude towards it and not worry too much on a day-to-day basis. If you do that, you will create wealth. But for creating wealth, you have to overcome that first fear, the first fear of bungee jumping or swimming or cycling, whichever you had, which you overcame, and then you reached where you are, exactly like that. Overcome the fear of equity investing. Don't invest a lump sum if you are a beginner. Do whatever you want, but put say 10,000 a month or 1 lakh a month, depending on your capacity. Don't do a lump sum for a beginner. For a person who's been in the market for a long period of time, lump sum may be better. But for you, don't do a lump sum, do an SIP, do it regularly, and you will see your wealth grow. That's how it is supposed to be. Thank you.